Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, Mr. Isaac Cooper. Isaac Cooper is the founder and CEO of IMC Financial Consulting, a Birmingham-based firm redefining what accessible wealth management looks like for individuals and communities across all income levels. Cooper leads a national team that builds generational wealth strategies rooted in practical application and cultural relevance. Cooper's journey to Birmingham began when he earned a full athletic scholarship to Samford as a defensive back. After graduating in 2012, his athletic experience became the blueprint for how he connects with others, particularly athletes, through the language of discipline, preparation, and purpose. That connection inspired Cooper to develop Assets and Athletes, IMC's sports-specific financial literacy curriculum. The program works with collegiate athletic programs across the country and addresses the unique challenges athletes face around contracts, endorsements, NIL income, and long-term planning. Cooper is also the architect behind the IMC Financial Freedom Project, one of the country's leading financial empowerment initiatives. Originally launched in the Birmingham City Schools, the project has now expanded to 4 states and is supported by major financial institutions, including Regions Bank and Edward Jones. It serves K-12 students, faculty, and staff, and parents or caretakers. By bridging the financial industry and academia, the IMC Financial Freedom Project is a model that's both practical and scalable, delivering culturally relevant curriculum mapped to state mathematics standards while connecting financial concepts in engaging and practical ways. Cooper recently completed his final term as an active board member of the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, where he previously served as board chair. He continues to hold the role of chair emeritus. His work has earned wide recognition, including the 2025 Small Business Award from the Women's Committee of 100 for Birmingham, the 2023 Samford University Outstanding Young Alumnus, and the Soul Grown Award for Innovation in Entrepreneurship. Isaac lives in Birmingham with his wife, Deisha, and together they are raising 3 wonderful children. Please join me in welcoming Isaac Cooper as the 2026 commencement speaker.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I actually got a little tired hearing all of that. I was like, I did that? All right, Dr. Taylor, distinguished faculty, proud families, and most importantly to the graduating class of 2026. I don't know where to start. This is a full circle moment for me. I walked across the stage 14 years ago, not knowing what was coming. Standing on this side of it now, I don't take a single of it lightly. To the Brock School of Business graduates and the School of Education graduates, I want to say something about why you share this room. Business without education is just transaction. Education without economic foundation, education without economic foundation is inspiration without infrastructure. You are each other's answer. And this city, this state, this country needs you working together. Now, before I say another word, I need to honor someone on this stage with me today, Ms. Basinger. So during my time at Samford, I know her through communication arts. We all know CA. She actually had us record ourselves speaking, and then we had to watch it back. When I watched mine, I was actually telling a joke, and I laughed at my own joke before I even finished it. And I completely forgot about it. The camera caught something authentic in me that I didn't know was there. And Ms. Basinger didn't laugh at me. She saw something worth developing. She gave me permission to believe in my own voice, and we still have a relationship today. She was at one of my children's baby showers, and as you heard, I said one of them. We have 3 children, and they are precious. And to all my young people in the room, take your time. And to all the parents in the room, can I get an amen? All right, all right. Ms. Basinger, on behalf of every student whose voice you've helped find, thank you. All right, so let me tell you how I got here. So I was born in Florida to Jamaican immigrant parents. First generation in this country. My parents worked very, very hard so their children could have more, specifically my mother. I watched my older brother Ashley, an All-American at Mississippi State, and I saw what football could open. I decided that's my vehicle. That's how I can change my family's story. I had scholarship offers from multiple schools, and I chose Samford because of one man, Coach Pat Sullivan, the 1971 Heisman Trophy winner, the man who believed I belonged here. And I want to give Coach Sullivan his flowers today. No, he unfortunately is no longer with us. Coach would tell us, guys, life is all about relationships. We'd nod and say, all right, Coach, yes, sir, and just get back to thinking about practice. But I still talk to my teammates today. Every door that is open for me came through a relationship. So, Coach, you were right. We just weren't ready to hear it yet. And I saw that lesson play out here right before I left campus. When I was trying to figure out what life looked like after football, I sat down with Martin Newton, the athletic director at Samford. Martin didn't give me a speech. He didn't hand me a brochure. He took out a card and he wrote down 3 names, 3 CEOs, people he had personal relationships with, and he gave me their cell phone numbers. I was like, you sure? And in doing that, he gave me something I didn't know I needed, the confidence to walk into rooms with people at that level and believe I belonged there. Because someone who had been in those rooms vouched for me. Martin, I still have that card 14 years later, because that is what relationship does. And that is exactly what Coach Sullivan was talking about. And speaking of relationships, I need to tell you about the most important one in my life. I met my wife while attending Samford. Now, it was not exactly on campus. And as I tell folks in our corporate environments, it was at a local establishment. And if I'm very transparent, y'all, it was at the club. It was at the club. That's where we met. But here's what I know. If I was not at Samford in this city, that interaction never happens. My 3 children are not born, so sometimes God drops the most important relationships in the most unexpected places. Now I need to talk about something a little harder. My senior year, the year I'd worked my entire life toward, when scouts would be watching and everything I sacrificed was supposed to pay off. I was misdiagnosed. They told me I had turf toe. I played through it, and it wasn't until after the season I learned the truth. I had a broken sesamoid bone in my foot. I had played the entire year on a broken foot. And while I was out there limited, hurting, unable to perform the way I knew I could, my sweet mate, Corey White, got drafted 5th round. We came in together, we trained together, same program, same dreams. Corey excelled. And unfortunately, during Pro Day, when almost every NFL team showed up at Samford University to watch Corey and others work out, I was standing on the sideline with the boot on my foot, numb. Everyone knew me as a football player, and I treated it like a god, lowercase g. It controlled my emotions, my expectations, my entire self. Take it away, who was Isaac? And I didn't have the answer. I was in a dark place. I had a godmother. Her name was Roz Brooks. She sat in a room, not unlike this, 14 years ago and watched me walk across the stage. And I need you to understand what I mean when I say she was always there. Ms. Roz never missed a birthday, not once, not ever. Every single year without fail, she showed up. And that is the kind of love that doesn't announce itself, just keeps showing up. And when football ended and I was lost, when I was at my lowest, she pulled me to the side and said something I've never forgotten. Isaac, God will put you on your back sometimes just for you to look up. Ms. Roz went home to glory not too long ago, and she is not here in body today, but she is here. I needed to say her name out loud in this place, on this stage, because she deserves her flowers. And Mom, I know you can feel her too. Some of you are walking off this stage today into uncertainty. Maybe you're carrying fear alongside that diploma. Maybe a plan fell apart. Hear what Roz told me. This is not failure. That is God positioning you to look up. And when you look up, that is when you will find out what you are actually made for. All right, let me lighten this up, y'all. I may do some push-ups. I'm over here crying. Let me get it together. All right, Broad School of Business graduates, I do got a quick question for you. Is Dr. Belsky still teaching accounting here? Excellent. So there was a rumor. I am not confirming it, only acknowledging its existence, that Dr. Belsky turned the heat up during exams, the temperature. I remember sitting in that room, papers on the desk, temperature not ideal for humans, and I looked up and I found Dr. Belsky standing in the corner, chuckling. I did not know what to think about this man, but I do know that that classroom was actually preparing us. Every drop of sweat was training. He wasn't being cruel. He was building something in us that a comfortable room never could. And to the School of Education graduates, I want to speak to you through someone who sat in the Broad School of Business, but whose heart was always in education. Dr. Holloway. She was in the marketing department, and she brought world-class individuals into the classroom and pushed me toward the Rotaract Club after graduation, which, for the record, I did not know how to spell. And when I didn't know what came next, I could walk up to her and ask, and she pointed me towards service before I even understood what it meant. This is what great education does. It doesn't just teach a subject, it teaches you who you are. So all of that, Ms. Basinger's class, Dr. Belsky's exams, Dr. Holloway's push, Martin Newton's card, it was the foundation. But nobody tells you what it's actually like to walk out of Samford into a Fortune 100 company when the only professional wardrobe you know is a jersey and cleats. So let me tell you, I did not know how to tie a tie. I was on YouTube. And if ChatGPT and Claude was around, I would have used that too. I actually put my suit in the washing machine. I didn't know about dry cleaning. So a suit came out all shiny. I was like, I didn't know it did that as well. And every sports coat I own, I ended up getting from the Salvation Army. Y'all ever heard about balling on a budget? I wasn't balling, but I definitely had a budget. And we made it work. One day, someone in the office asked me, I said, where'd you get that sports coat? I looked inside, and I saw someone else's name. It was like Jordan Johnson or something like that. I was like, well, this ain't mine. And I ended up saying, hey, I got it from the Salvation Army. They said, don't ever tell anyone that. And in my head, I thought, then I would be lying. My logic has never changed. If someone makes a decision about who I am based off of where I bought my jacket and doesn't like the answer, they were never the right relationship. Tell the truth. Let people decide. That is integrity, and no one can take that from you. Now, the suit I have on today got my name in it. I learned about custom, and, we got that squared away. Evolve, full circle, okay? All right, so leadership is not the kind that comes with the title. It's the kind that comes from a decision you make in a room when no one is moving. When I was transitioning out of Samford, I started asking, all right, so who are some of the black men and women who graduated from here? And is anyone keeping that connection alive? Nobody had that answer. So I didn't wait for an invitation. I asked for a meeting with the president then, Dr. Westmoreland, and I got to shout out Dr. Gregory because she pushed me there. And with his support, we built the inaugural Samford Black Alumni Association. We still host events and build community, and of course, biggest thing is awarding scholarships to students on campus. But I'll never forget the first board meeting. Someone asked, who is going to take the minutes? Now, anyone that is a part of a board, minutes are critical. Compliance, very, very important. And without missing a beat, my response was, well, I didn't time it. I'm thinking about football. They stared at me. I don't know what they were thinking at that point. And instead of pretending, I just said, I don't know the technical side of this, but I know how to connect to the people and help solve their problems. I'll stand firm on that while I learn everything else. So just keep in mind, humility is not weakness. It's the beginning of growth. In 2019, I became the chairman of the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, a national monument right here in Birmingham. I was the youngest chairman in the history of that organization. I walked into financial challenges, a board that needed restructuring, and then as well, a global pandemic. And I want to be fully transparent. I stepped in twice as interim and CEO and president with no pay. Because there are some things you do that's not for a check. You do them because the mission is bigger than you. Leadership does not have an age requirement. You do not need permission. You need purpose and the courage to act on it. Come with humility, lead with your actions, and never be too proud to say, I don't know. Because that is exactly where real learning begins. I spent years at that Fortune 100 company, and I'm grateful for every lesson it taught me. But I need to be honest, it also frustrated me. I watched an industry that was supposed to be in the business of helping people treat those same people like products. Transactions over transformation. Numbers and not names. And I couldn't unsee it. What stirred inside me during those years is exactly what you see in IMC Financial Consulting today. That frustration became the fuel. So before I launched, I had a conversation that I will never forget. I was sitting down with different firms. They were learning that I was thinking about going independent. And I told them I was considering starting my own practice. And they looked me dead in my eyes and said, Isaac, that will be impossible to do on your own. They must have seen it on my face because my body language said everything my mouth didn't. They immediately walked it back and said, well, not impossible, just very difficult. In that moment, in the quiet after that word landed, I heard something. Not loud, clear. A voice that said, Isaac, you will never be alone. I'm with you. Now, I'm going to quote a poet. You may be familiar with this catalog. His name is 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz said, I got God on my side, and that's all I need to ride. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary, April 28, 2026, and I want to give a shout out to the IMC team that is here in this room with me today. 10 years of transformation over transaction. IMC Financial Consulting is one of those few vertically integrated financial services in the country where the model is not led by income, but by intention. We serve people who don't have the assets with the same care we give people who do. And through the IMC Financial Freedom Project, we are building a scalable model that brings communities, corporations, organizations together around real economic impact grounded in real education. Brock graduates, you build the systems. Education graduates, you change what people believe is possible. The work has always been the same. Dr. Miles Monroe said, do not confuse your job with your work. Your job is what you are trained to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Your job is your career. Your work is your life's assignment. Your job is your skill. Your work is your gift. Your job pays the bills. Now you got to pay those bills now and on time, so keep that in mind. Your work fulfills the soul. Pursue both. AI is real. The workforce is shifting. The job you train for may look different in 10 months or in 10 years, but AI cannot carry your gift. It cannot do your work. Your purpose will always make a way because it belongs to you alone, given for a specific time, for a specific reason. Not long ago, I went to get a routine procedure, and when I came to, I was told there had been a complication with the anesthesia. I had stopped breathing completely. And when I was fully back, you know what I didn't think about? The business, the titles. I thought about my kids coming into the bedroom in the morning. My wife's face. My mother's voice. God has a way of reminding you of what matters by bringing you to the edge and letting you see what you reach for first. When life tests your purpose, and it will, that test becomes your testimony. Every hard exam, every broken dream, every door that didn't open, every moment flat on your back wondering what was next, that was not failure. That was formation. God was putting you on your back so you could look up. I stand here not in spite of the hard things, but because of them. Because of a coach who said life is about relationship, because of an athletic director who handed me a card with 3 names and trusted me with what he had earned, because of a professor who believed in my voice before I did, because of parents who crossed an ocean so their children could stand in rooms like this, because of a wife I found in the most unexpected place, and because of a godmother named Roz Brooks who never missed a birthday. Not one. And told me the truth when I needed it most. Class of 2026, know your work, lead without waiting for permission, come with humility, stay curious, say I don't know, and mean it. Take care of the little things, because someone who has been at the edge and back will tell you the little things are the big things. Now go do your work, and when life puts you on your back, and it will, you already know what to do. Look up. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. A quick anecdote. Isaac's too humble to say this, but he still has DB skills. The platform party played a game of flag football out on the field, and no one scored on him, except for President Beck Taylor with 3 touchdowns. So